Good evening and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reacting to the Critics' Choice Awards. The Critics' Choice are pretty predictable in terms of what their winners would be. It's likely that one battle after another probably won. But sometimes they throw some curveballs in some of the tech categories where they give a film that's not anticipated to win an award and then ends up winning. Like West Side Story when editing, for example. I didn't watch the show because I didn't have access to it, so we're just gonna read them online. So I'm on Wikipedia, and we're gonna start with Best Foreign Language Film, and this went to The Secret Agent. Whoa! The Secret Agent won that? Wow. I mean, they nominated Wagner Moura for Best Actor, but I thought they would go for no other choice here, or it was just an accident here. Like, wow, that film is strong. That film is, like, really strong. Like, if you don't think The Secret Agent's getting the Best Picture, you better reconsider, because that film is just doing so well this season, and it's actually pretty crazy how well that film's been doing. Yeah, that's pretty significant for The Secret Agent. I mean, kind of gives you scratching your head, like, could this be competitive to win at the Oscars? I mean, I still don't think so. I still think it's between accident and sentimental value, but winning the Critics' Choice, that's a big deal for it. Best Animated Feature went to K-Pop Demon Hunters, of course, everyone was predicting that. Best Comedy went to The Naked Gun. I mean, it was the only one that people who were voting knew. I mean, everything else I just never really heard of before. And plus, it was a smash hit at the box office. Best Visual Effects went to Avatar: Fire and Ash, as expected. I mean, it may have been the only nomination the film got, but it has the best effects, so what are you gonna do? Best Stunts went to Mission Impossible, also expected. That's also been sweeping all the critics' awards anyway, so pretty expected. Best Hair and Makeup, Frankenstein. It's gonna win the Oscar. I mean, it's gonna do very well at the Makeup Guild and probably win BAFTA, and it's gonna win the Oscar, so what are you gonna do? Best Sound went to F1. Some people were thinking that, like, Sinners would win this award, but F1, you know, racing cars, vroom vroom, zoom 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 zoom. I mean, F1 makes a lot of sense to win this category, and I kind of thought it would, just because it's just the most obvious sound film that there is. So, and plus it got 7 nominations here. Let's see if F1 wins Best Editing. I'm very curious to see if it wins that. Best Score went to Sinners. Sinners looking like it's gonna win the Oscar. I still think One Battle is competitive, but I think it's gotta win like Golden Globe or BAFTA or something like that. Does make sense for them to go for it here. The Critics' Choice really loves Sinners, and obviously they love one battle after another. But you know, Sinners just has a more recognizable score that just, you know, it kind of sticks with you more than One Battle. Best Song went to Golden. Let's go. That's the song that should be winning the Oscar, should be winning everything. You know, and I'm not against I Lied to You. I think it's an alright song, but it ain't the #1 song of the year. And everyone has heard of Golden, okay? It played on the radio in my car the other day, and I Lied to You. I think I heard it in a restaurant once, but more people have heard of Golden. And yeah, it makes sense for it to win. Best Costume Design went to Frankenstein. Not surprising considering the Critics' Choice loved Frankenstein and they didn't really care for Wicked. Wicked could still win the Oscar, but I think it'd be wise to lean more towards Frankenstein, especially since the Critics' Choice is pretty accurate with predicting costume design overall. I think the only time they didn't get it right was with Barbie. Barbie won the Critics' Choice, and then Poor Things won. But I think Frankenstein looking like a good bet to win the Oscar. Best Production Design went to Frankenstein. It's going to win the Oscar. What are you going to say? Frankenstein got 3 tech wins here. The ones that I would have expected. It's going to be interesting to see if that ends up translating at the Oscars. Best Cinematography. Whoa, Train Dreams? Wow. That is very much a critic's pick. That really is. That's kind of like Nosferatu winning last year. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's really good for Train Dreams, because it winning the Critics' Choice means I'm probably going to put it in for cinematography now. And plus, it is kind of part of the package that Train Dream needs. Like, it needs to get, like, a tech nomination or 2, and it needs to get screenplay, maybe Joe Edgerton, and then Best Picture. That's his path to get in the Best Picture. So this is really good for Train Dreams overall. It did get in the Best Picture here, so kind of makes a little bit of sense for it to win something. Best Editing, F1. Whoa, F1 won. It won over Sinners. You know, I kind of was feeling like this would happen because it's a racing film. It has a lot of editing. It kind of reminds me of like No Time to Die or Ford v Ferrari. You know, these films that just have a lot of fast-paced editing. I will say that the Critics' Choice sometimes give Best Editing the films that don't end up getting nominated at the Oscars. Like Challengers won this award last year. Very similar to F1, has a lot of fast-paced editing. But it's not a Best Picture film, so it just doesn't get in the Oscar. So I don't know what to do with F1. I really don't know if it's going to get editing, and I'm also debating if it's going to get like cinematography. F1's just like maybe it's stronger in Best Picture than we think it is. Okay, that's something to consider. Best Original Screenplay, Sinners. I mean, Sinners is going to win everywhere. Okay, maybe it was just an accident, could challenge, but I don't know. Sinners is the number 2 for Best Picture, and it's a very original concept film, and they've kind of been going in that direction recently. So Best Adapted Screenplay, one battle after another. PTA, he's gonna win everywhere, and he better win everywhere, okay? Because it's his time. It's his time to win his Oscar. In fact, he's not just gonna win one, he's gonna win 3 of them, and he's probably gonna win 3 tonight at the Critics' Choice. Best Young Actor/Actress, Miles Caine for Sinners. Pretty expected. He's the most recognizable actor in this category. Best Casting, an Ensemble, Sinners. I mean, come on. That's pretty obvious. Everyone in that film was just fantastic. Okay? And it's probably going to win SAG Ensemble as well. And probably casting at the Oscars. Okay, Best Supporting Actor. Whoa! Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein? Oh my gosh, they are really going critically here. But, oh, wow. Wait, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Benicio del Toro has been the one who's been winning the most critics wins. Which, I'm kind of happy that he didn't win this, in a way. But Jacob Elordi, wow. He is strong. He's getting the Oscar nomination, for sure. He is really strong. I'm really surprised that they went with Elordi. That is kind of a critically pick, and there's a lot of passion for that performance, but it kind of seemed like there was passion for Benicio del Toro. He's just like been winning a lot of critics stuff lately, and I kind of thought the Critics' Choice would just go in that direction. Yeah, Jacob Elordi getting a big win. Wow, that's impressive. I mean, good for him. I'm good for him. I'm happy that he got it. I mean, I do hope he gets the Oscar nomination. I mean, in fact, I'm pretty sure he is going to get the Oscar nominations. Like, he gives a speech and everything. I mean, that really helps if you're trying to get an Oscar nomination. So, I think the top 5 for supporting actor is pretty fucking obvious. Adam Sandler, you can kiss your ass goodbye, along with Jay Kelly. Best supporting actress, Amy Madigan. It makes sense. Makes sense. Very much a critic's pick. I was predicting Teyana Taylor here, but yeah. No, that didn't end up materializing. So, good for her, though. It definitely helps because Amy Madigan, that's a sort of performance that if it's going to win the Oscar, it needs to win everywhere, especially since Weapons doesn't look like it's getting into Best Picture. Kind of like Kieran Culkin last year, where he swept. Amy Madigan has to do the same. And I'm not sure if she will, because the Golden Globes are probably going to go with Teyana Taylor, and I don't really know if SAG will go for it. So, pretty interesting. But very good win for her. That was important for her to win this. Shows that there is a lot of support for her performance and that people are digging her performance. They're digging this narrative for Amy Madigan. So, very great win for her. Best Actor, Timothée Chalamet. I mean, pretty expected. He's the frontrunner. And the Critics' Choice, they throw some curveballs, obviously. We've seen a lot tonight. But they also go with stuff that's kind of a frontrunner. And Timothée Chalamet is a clear frontrunner. So, makes sense for him to win. We'll see if he ends up going all the way and going to win the Oscar. Best Actress, Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. I think she's going to sweep. I really do think she's going to sweep. You know, some people may accuse the performance of being too emotional and cry. But I think there's a lot of evidence to support that she's going to end up winning the Oscar. Best Director, Paul Thomas Anderson. Let's go. That's great. Great, I want to see him win director everywhere. Along with screenplay, I want him to win director everywhere. And then for best picture, One Battle After Another. Yeah, this may be the beginning of the sweep for One Battle After Another. Sinners did very well here, though. I mean, Sinners possibly could have upset it here, but makes sense for the critics to ultimately go with One Battle After Another. Hey, no. Let me finish this video, and then I'll attend to your needs. So in terms of tallies for multiple wins, Frankenstein and Sinners tied with 4. One Battle After Another won 3, which was really just the big 3. And F1 and K-Pop Demon Hunters won 2 awards. So overall, One Battle After Another, won the 3 big prizes, but it could have gotten more, It didn't win an acting award. It didn't win like a tech award, like editing or score. And, it just ended up not being the big sweeper that I think a lot of us were kind of thinking it would be. And it is in a very good position, though. I mean, winning those 3 big awards is really all it needs to show that it's the frontrunner and going to win Best Picture. But you kind of think that it would have performed a little bit better. Sinners is definitely showing that it is a number 2, and that it is going to win a lot of tech awards. I do think that Sinners is still doing pretty well. It just doesn't seem like it will win Best Picture. It'll just seem like it will win Screenplay and some tech awards, but just not the big prize. And Frankenstein, wow, Jacob Elordi winning Supporting Actor. That's pretty significant. Because this Supporting Actor race is like very all over the place. With Benicio del Toro winning Critics Awards, and now Elordi winning this, even though like it was looking like Stellan Skarsgård or Sean Penn would maybe be a frontrunner. So I really don't know what's going on with that supporting actor race. It's just kind of all over the place. And all I can say is that the top 5 is very fucking obvious. Stellan Skarsgård, Sean Penn, Paul Mescal, Benicio del Toro, Jacob Elordi. That's going to be your top 5 for the Oscars. I don't think Adam Sandler is going to get nominated. There's no room for him. So don't really know what's going on with that race. Supporting actress, Amy Madigan won this. Very important for her. I feel like it still is a race between her and Tiana Taylor. But that's where I am with that. Frankenstein is definitely showing that it is strong. And I really wonder if Frankenstein could get a director nomination. Just because of how well it's been doing. It's just been overperforming everywhere. And people just are loving this movie. They're giving it awards. They're giving it a Lordy Award now. You kind of have to wonder if Guillermo del Toro is going to be director. And I may have to put it into screenplay too. Even though Frankenstein is not a screenplay movie, I may just have to put it in just because it's just really strong. Train Dreams, looking like it may end up getting the Best Picture. It won cinematography, and that may have been its only win, but it does help its push to get into the Oscars. I think Train Dreams, it just needs to continue down this push, and it needs to get PGA. I think that's going to be important for it. And then it can get the Oscar for Best Picture. So Train Dreams is definitely up there. Wicked for Good didn't win anything. I mean, it kind of needed to win something to show that it was still strong, like costumes, and it didn't win anything. So I think there's still a show of weakness for Wicked, but we'll have to see. Best International Feature is going to be really tricky to predict this year. Because now that The Secret Agent won the Critics' Choice, you kind of have to think if that's in winning contention. That was crazy. Sentimental value was not there, and so they gave it to The Secret Agent instead of it was just an accident. I mean, I guess they didn't really care if it was just an accident. I guess they just didn't care, all right? Maybe that's what it just boils down to. They just did not care about that movie, but a pretty big win for that film. I think that film is competitive in international feature. It could maybe be in contention to win. I still think between sentimental value and it was just an accident. Because you kind of have to wonder, if sentimental value was in this category, would it have won over The Secret Agent? I don't know. Who knows? Regardless, sentimental value didn't win anything. It got 7 nominations and didn't win anything. So, yeah, No Other Choice didn't end up winning. And some people were thinking that could win. Could that show a weakness for that film? I don't really know. But international feature, it's looking competitive in terms of what the win is, because I really don't know what's going to win in that category. And we're getting at least 3 international feature films this year. Cinema Value, It Was Just an Accident, and The Secret Agent. And you kind of have to wonder if The Secret Agent could get a screenplay nomination. You really do have to wonder. No other choice. Still think it will get international feature, but I don't know if it will get in the Best Picture. It's very hard to determine what's going on with that movie. That's all I have to say about the Critics' Choice. Some very impressive wins overall. Some really big surprises that are, kind of shaking up the race a little bit. It's all very exciting stuff, and I can't wait to see what the Golden Globes do next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you were a critic, what film would you choose to win Best Picture?